Hello, my name is Rebecca Musgrove, and I decided to do my project on a Facebook profile for Telemachus. I tried to show that what he was feeling in pictures that relate to the story, and I'll read through his profile and explain some of his statuses a little more as I go along. Okay. I'll go all the way to the bottom where he first started out. At the very beginning of the story, I went all the way through it. Okay. There was a picture I chose of Telemachus. I felt like that described him in my mind. And that was a really pretty picture of Ithaca, his land that he lived in. Okay, and here's the first status. I feel lost. I feel like I have no direction. I don't know where to go or what to do. Mother says that my father will return soon one day, and I'm starting to doubt her. Father, if you're reading this, please come home. I felt like he was weak at that point. He didn't have no one to direct him in the path that he should go. Like, he didn't have no father figure, and he needed someone to direct him. In the next one, it seems like these suitors will never go away. It's like my life revolves around keeping them company. They've been here way too long. Something needs to be done. I can't take it anymore. With this status, the suitors are like taking control of the palace. His mother constantly cries, and he just can't deal with the stress that the suitors bring. They're eating him out of house and home. They've pretty much outstayed their welcome. Here's a picture I thought pretty much explained what was happening. This is what I have to deal with every day. They just won't leave us alone. They should know by now that the flowers and songs won't win my mother over. She's stronger than that. Every day his mother would make a shroud for Odysseus, and she would unravel a little bit every night to prolong her having to give the suitors an answer, and they kept on bothering her, as you can see right there. Okay, I wish that I was more respected. I wish that my father would return and scatter these suitors. If he came back, I know for sure that I would gain respect. This is when Telemachus was sitting there watching all of the suitors eat and party, and he just felt like he wasn't respected. They would make fun of him, laugh at him. They've even tried to kill him a few times, but it just didn't work. But he felt like he wasn't respected in the least bit. I was greeted tonight by Menzies, a friend of my father. It feels good to tell someone how I truly feel about these ghastly suitors and my father. Okay, Athena was disguised as Menzies, a friend of Odysseus, and Telemachus just pretty much told him how he was feeling and what was going on with the suitors, and he pretty much just let his feelings out. And Athena, Menzies at the time, pretty much told him that he needed to stand up and he needed to go search for news about his father. He needed to stand up to those suitors and give them peace into his mind. And then Telemachus says, I am a man. I will no longer accept the abuse that has been directed towards me by my mother's suitors. I will stand up to them. After talking to Menzies, he's gained a little bit more confidence because Athena kept on telling him what he can do and how he can better himself. And so he's finally gained a little bit more confidence, and he even told them that he wanted them out. But of course, the suitors didn't listen. They just pretty much laughed at him. Okay, with the help of Menzies, I will find out my father's whereabouts. It's about time I found out the truth. And this is where they decide to go on a journey and find out about his father. Really find out where he's at, and not only find out about Odysseus, but he's gonna, I don't know how to word this, he's gonna find himself in the process of finding his father too. And then he says, how dare they try to blame their wretchedness on my mother. I I out the suitors in front of the town. I had to let everyone know what they were doing. They blamed my mother because she would not marry one of them. I do not blame her one bit. He went in front of the town and told them about what the suitors has been doing, and they pretty much blamed it on his mother, saying that she won't choose one of them. She's taking her time and everything, and Telemachus was pretty mad. Okay. And Athena turns into Mentor at this point, disguises into Mentor, and he says, Mentor and I, along with 20 of my best men, are setting sail to King Nestor's palace for first thing in the morning. I'm eager to start the journey and find out where my father has been all these years. Wish us safe travels. He's going to finally find out where Odysseus is and what he's been doing and how he is, and he's taking a stand. And this is a picture of how I picture Palos looking, and it says, we have arrived in Palos. I can see the palace already, one step closer to finding out about my father. This is where they greet them on shore and welcome them into their palace. It says, sadly, our trip didn't end with King Nestor, but I have plenty of great news. I have been guided by Athena throughout my journey. I didn't even realize it. She took on the form of Mentor anyways. Pisistratus and I are on our way to King Menelaus' palace to seek information about my father. If the gods can hear my cry, please let this be the end to the answer I'm seeking. King Nestor didn't really have any answers for Telemachus about his father. He pretty much just told him about the victories and what all has happened while he was with his father, but he sent them to another king for more answers, to King Menelaus. And Telemachus finds out that his father is alive. My father lives. Because King Menelaus told him that he's just, in the next act you'll find out. King Menelaus is a marvelous king. He has restored my hope in telling me that my father is not dead, only stuck on Calypso's island. Spread the good news, everyone. And he has told his father that he's been stuck on Calypso's island for several years, and he's ready to come home, but he's just pretty much stuck there. Okay, he says, I have been gone for too long. Athena just informed me it was time to go back. I must beg King Menelaus to release me and let me return. Telemachus has been there for several years, and he had a dream, and Athena told him that his mother was fixing to marry one of the suitors, and that the suitors planned to kill him, and that he needed to come home. So here he is. He says, I'm hoping that the dream Athena gave me is not true, but I will heed to the warning. She says that the suitors have planned to kill me. I will follow her instructions and pray that I will be safe. He just bypasses going back to meet King Nestor, and he travels all the way to his boat, and he starts sailing. He don't even go to stop to see King Nestor. And it says, with the help of Athena, I have managed to miss the suitor's ambush. Thank goodness. I really don't need that right now. And he says, Athena pretty much guided him away from the suitors. Even though they've been waiting for many months to kill him, he managed to bypass them. Says, oh, I have good news, great news, marvelous news. I have been reunited with my father. I didn't recognize him at first. I thought he was just a regular beggar, but then he revealed himself to me. Oh, the joy that is in my heart right now. Athena has opened up his eyes and made him realize that the beggar was actually Odysseus. And so he found him, and now they're reunited. And now that my father is back, the suitors won't be in the palace for too much longer. We are in the process of making plans to rid us of these dreadful people. Telemachus and Odysseus is currently making a plan against the suitors at that point. And this is a picture I thought of what he would look like. Pretty good disguised. My father still insists on keeping the disguise for right now. I think it's working pretty good. I mean, I didn't even recognize him until he revealed himself to me. Now I changed his profile picture again. It looks pretty much like the same picture except an actual person. We have a plan. Prepare to be slaughtered, suitors. They came up with their plan. I've never seen so much disgrace. I know that everyone doesn't recognize my father as a beggar, but the way they treat him, it just makes me so mad. I couldn't even do anything to stop it. The suitors and people on the street, they kick him, they throw things at him, throw a stool at us and hit him, and there's a lot of mean things to him, and they couldn't do anything about it. It's hard not to tell my mother that her husband is standing right in front of her. I watch my mother weep from the sadness of thinking that her husband is dead. They can't really tell her that it is Odysseus right now because they have to wait until the plan goes out. Okay, his mother mentioned that there is a bow and arrow contest, so he said tomorrow's bow and arrow contest. Whoever is able to string the bow and shoot the arrow through 12 axe heads will be the lucky person to marry my mother. This is Odysseus' lucky bow and arrow, and he's the only one that is able to string it up, so let's see what happens. Today's the day, day of competition. I'm laughing so hard right now. It's hilarious to me that the suitors even think that they have a chance to win. They're laughing at my father, who still looks like a beggar. He wants to try his hand at the competition, but they won't be laughing for too long. All the suitors, they tried and failed to string the bow. Oh, what a day it has been. I have so much news to tell, but it will have to wait until later. I'm so busy with everything. Let me just say this. My father's officially back. Okay, so here's a recap of everything that has happened with the competition. I'm dying to tell everyone, and I'm sure everyone is dying to know. My father, despite everyone doubting that he couldn't, strung the bow and shot an arrow through all 12 axe heads. Then, like a mighty god, threw his cloak to the side and revealed himself to the suitors. They were shocked. I stood there grinning with my sword and spear ready to do some damage. I spare you the gory details, but there were no more suitors, and the women servants who slept with the suitors now hang with their feet not touching the ground. My father has just spoke to Odyssey and told her to go awaken my mother. It won't be long now before she comes down. Odysseus and Telemachus have officially killed all of the suitors, and it's like a slaughterhouse in there, blood and guts and everything everywhere. And then all the women who have slept with the suitors and had sex with them, they hung them. They were going to spill their guts with the sword, but Telemachus decided they should get a little bit more, not as rewarding death, so it would be a little bit more harsher to hang them. My mother finally realized that the beggar is truly my father. Oh, how happy this makes me. When Odysseus and Penelope talked, Penelope had tested him with their marriage bed. She said she was going to move their marriage bed, but he's like, impossible, woman. I made that bed. It is rooted to the floor, and so she knew that it was him. On our way to my grandfather Laertes' home, father needs to amend things and show him that he is back for good. I know that Ithaca will be on our toes with the amount of bloodshed that's taking place today. Hopefully the gods will hear us and join us in the upcoming battle. Of course, when someone slaughters many young men and brothers of people, there's going to be some mad people. So, of course, they're on their tails and chasing after them, and let's see what happens next. We have arrived at grandfather's home. My father just told me to go with the cow herd and swine herd to prepare a grand meal for us to celebrate while he talks with my grandfather. Odysseus and Laertes, who is Odysseus' father, Odysseus wanted to tell him that it was truly him, and Laertes tested him, and Odysseus showed him that it was truly him by showing the signs. And they're having a great feast for it. And I'm so full from the marvelous feast that we had, but someone just said that the men of Ithaca were almost here. Will we ever have peace? Now they're on their way, and they're angry mob of men on their way to kill Telemachus and Odysseus. After much bloodshed, the battle is finally over. We would have killed the whole lot of them if Athena and Zeus hadn't stopped the battle. They made the Ithacans forget about their sons and brothers. They allowed us to come home, come to an agreement. My father is now officially king of Ithaca, and peace has finally come. When they were battling and they were slaying many men, Athena shouted and pretty much scared the Ithacans, and they started running away. And then Odysseus started running after them, and Zeus pretty much said, is there no end to you? Just stop, basically. And they came to an agreement, and Zeus filled their mind with peace, and they became friends, and he is now officially the king of Ithaca again, and all is happy in the land. And here's Telemachus' final status. It says, we can finally go home. We can finally be a family. After many years of not having a father and having a mother weep and cry every night, he can finally be a full family, and everything is right. And that is my status, and that is my profile of Telemachus, son of Odysseus, son of Penelope. Here's his Facebook profile, and I hope you have enjoyed watching my video of showing you his Facebook profile. Thank you.